But I heard this story on another podcast of how this one landlord, he's been doing this for years, but he had been soliciting from his tenants and his buildings if they couldn't make their rent payment. And this was women and some men. And this dude finally got arrested. I think he was in his 60s or 70s.
Wow.
He finally got caught, but he had been doing it for decades.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's just like, it just reminded me, it's like, I guess he had enough money to cover, of course, cover his tenants' rent. But, he took advantage of some of his tenants just because they might not have had enough money right then and there. And instead of evicting them, he was like, listen, if you ain't got the cash, you got to pay with on the blanks.
Impact. 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 In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Jermichael Moore.
And it's your man, Brandon Gio.
And we are the Residual Impact Podcast. Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves
and apply it to their communities.
Let's grow.
Again, we back for another one, son.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Residual Impact Podcast.
Yeah. Glad you for stopping in with us.
Huh?
Well, I was trying to say I'm glad that you stopped in with us, but it kind of blended all together.
Bruh.
I'm from the South, y'all, okay?
Is that going to be an excuse for every time?
Hey, usually it's a good one.
I don't know how much longer that's going to fly, though. But, hey, whatever floats your boat.
Hey, even when we go to these other countries and places, I'm still going to have that Southern accent and give it to the people raw.
I don't even think you have an accent, to be honest. Like, I don't really hear an accent when I listen to you speak.
Well, it depends. Like, it depends. If you put me around like my family, I have a strong accent.
You know what? And I can relate to that. I get it. Like, this one girl, she told me that my New York accent comes out pretty strong sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I know for a fact when I get around other people from New York, it's definitely there.
You know what I mean? It's inherently in you.
Yeah. So. But I just, for the most part, try to speak proper and professional and enunciate.
I mean, your accent sometimes still comes out. Like, you still pronounce things and say things like in a very New York way.
Because I don't really like pronouncing my R's sometimes. Like, if I want to say here, I don't always say here. It just sounds weird to me, so I'll say here. Or even when I just said weird, I don't say weird. I say weird.
See? It's just like, it's just in you.
Yeah.
So I can't think of, like, I'm trying right now to think of something, but I can't think of nothing like how I would say it, but I know it comes out.
I get it.
So, it's just a part of us.
So it's his own. Yeah, it's a part of us, man. I mean? But anyway, how was your week, man? How's everything been?
Oh, man, the week it's been great. I can honestly say it's been great. I'm not going to complain about nothing. I learned just to take each moment to moment, bro, and just be grateful for it all, man. It's, it doesn't mean that every day it's amazing, but there's always something amazing in each day. And I don't know, bro. That's just the mindset I've been in lately. I am a better person. I'm learning from everything that I'm going through and have gone through up until this point. And I just want to continue to grow. I just want to continue to elevate. But as I'm elevating, though, I also realize that it comes with a lot more responsibility. So I'm having to manage a lot of this responsibility that's coming my way, but staying in a grateful mindset while it's happening. Because you can find yourself complaining about some of the same thing that you asked for. That be the part that's tricky, B. So,
man, tell me about it, as I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of things that I've prayed for, I've wanted, and it's just like when I get it, I'm just like, yo, why am I going through this?
Yeah.
Because it's like I asked for it, but I didn't ask for it to be delivered in the way that I'm getting it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the way that you're getting it is actually the way that you need it.
That is true.
That's the thing that we got to work our way around.
That is true. And that's something that a lot of us don't think about when it's happening in that specific way.
Mm-hmm.
We'll always say, why me versus why not me? Or we'll say, why me? Why am I going through this? And not thinking about what can come of it.
Yeah, man.
And it's crazy that you bring that up because I had been going through some stuff lately. Mm-hmm. And I know I told you about this before we cut the cameras on, but boy, let's just say there have been waves of feelings and sentiments coming back to me from a specific event that I've been involved in recently. Something that's happened to me recently. And again, I told you about what happened to me earlier this morning. And yeah, man, I was feeling some type of way about it, and I didn't know how to handle it. And then I saw something that you posted online on your social media, and I was like, yo, I needed that. You know, because it definitely put me in a different perspective. It put me in a different headspace because, again, I was thinking like, why am I going through this right now? Why am I voluntarily putting myself through this? Because I didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have to go do what I did this morning, but I did it to help somebody out.
Yeah.
And when I did that, it was pretty much at the cost of my
peace.
Sure, for lack of better words. I did that at the cost of my peace. And just so much emotion, so many memories.
Let me ask you this.
Stuff like that just hit me.
Did you do it, like when you made a decision to do it, did you do it for someone else or did you do it because you wanted to? Like, or was you hoping for some type of, like, did you have an expectation or something?
I didn't have an expectation, but I did it for someone else. Like, I didn't have to do it, period.
Okay.
And I know whoever's listening or watching, y'all probably in the dark, but, you know, Mike and I know what we're talking about. Let's just say I went out of my way. Like, I literally went out of my way. I drove an hour away to go to Clayco. You know what I'm saying? I had to handle some business in the trap. You feel me?
This guy.
I had to go down to Clayton County, go see Lotto. You know what I'm saying?
This guy.
Bruh. Nah, I mean, like, I did have to go to Clayco, and it was a drive, man. I put myself through traffic and stuff like that, but I did it to go help a friend out. And it was just, I don't know. It helped me out too, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it really helped me out. It was something that I needed to do anyway, but I could have done anywhere. I could have stayed in Gwinnett to do it. You know what I'm saying? I could have stayed on the north side to do it. I didn't have to drive all the way to Clayton County, but I did it because that's where the friend in need was. And I did what I thought was right, but it ended up being the right thing to do. But at the same time, again, it just
maybe didn't happen how you thought it, how you wanted it to happen.
Right, because I thought I would have been fine. I didn't think anything of it. Like, I thought, like, okay, well, it is what it is at this point. I'm not going to bring it up again. Nothing's going to happen. But, nah, I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm human. So,
yeah,
you know, stuff can affect me no matter whether I think it's going to affect me or not. Like, it happens.
Yeah. Just about how you respond to it. You know, what you do next is kind of going to be what's setting you up for the next thing. So that's something I learned because just for me, it, like I said, I've been just learning to enjoy each moment. But I find myself at times because my schedule it can be very busy, but I can find myself like complaining a little bit in my mind, like, man, I don't want to do this. But then I remember, like, yo, okay, part of me, I remember, like, when I didn't have this and I wanted this. So it's just like, okay, I got to change the way I'm viewing this. Like, yo, I'm grateful that I get to do this. And when I shifted that mindset, it kind of made the rest of my day better. So I'm realizing that we put ourselves through a lot of this heartache that we going through, just simply by the way that we think about it. So the way, whatever you feel, whatever you're thinking right now in this very moment is actually setting up for the very next moment. Sometimes we don't put the two correlations together. But if you are happy in this moment right now, you thinking optimistic of the future, I promise you, it's gonna kind of weed itself onto the next thing. But if you're thinking the opposite, I promise you, you're creating that same thing for yourself, whether it be a bad outlook. It's going to create that same outlook going forward. So let's just be mindful of what we think right now. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, man. But I'm grateful that something I spoke could have spoke to you. So
Yeah.
Let's thank God for that one, because that wasn't me. That was God. So
For real. And I appreciate that. And like I told you, man, throw it on the TikTok because I'm sure I wasn't the only person who needed that.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So, I know, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that. B, I guess that was how your week was, because I never technically officially asked you that.
Well, that was just a component of my week.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the full week.
Well, go ahead.
But, you know.
Go ahead. Hey, go ahead. You might go ahead and continue on. How was the rest of the week?
The rest of the week leading up to this point, I mean, it was cool. Filled with work, as always. And editing. Like, you know, I've mentioned on a previous pod, we have been working on different things. We're trying different things behind the scenes. We're working on different formats when it comes to editing our content that we release on Instagram and TikTok, and something that I even had to teach you because the way you were doing
Lord have mercy. I was ready to hire somebody. Like, I was ready to hire somebody that day. I was like, I can't do this, bro. Like, oh goodness.
But it's like when I first told you about it, when I first said that, like, yo, this is how we should try, you know, doing our content from now on.
Yeah.
It didn't take me, you know, it took me a long time. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't as quick with it as I am now. And even now I'm still kind of slow with it because it's still new to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's still new to us. But yeah, like it's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. And I'm like, I see other content creators doing it, and it's like I understand why they do it. It's very engaging, and it has definitely helped with our views at least.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yo,
yeah, man.
Other podcasters, I know they have people like they've actually hired to do it.
Yeah.
We might need to consider
Listen,
that.
Lord have mercy. Eventually we will. Like,
Yeah.
It won't be. There's going to be so many other things that are asking for our attention as far as the podcast go that we have to be adherent to. And it's like, man, we're going to have to free up this space and time that it takes to edit. And we just have to relinquish that to somebody else. Because there actually is somebody out there waiting right now to be an editor for us. We don't even know who that person is. But they're
Well, we have an idea of one person because they've actually expressed interest in doing it. I mean, it was a while ago, but
yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true. See what I'm saying? So it's just like we just haven't gotten to that point fully where we're ready to, like, I guess, give up that.
Right, because I mean, at the same time, we're still figuring out how we want to run things.
Yes.
Recently, like what I've said, we've made a change in how we've put out our videos.
Yeah.
Like move some logos around from one part of the screen to the other. How we format, you know, the videos when we edit our clips to put on social media, or how we format our videos when we're working on our full episodes to create clips from. Like we've changed so much.
Right.
And this is just because of stuff that we've thought about. Now imagine we've thought about this stuff. Then we had to try to share it with somebody else who edits for us, and they might not necessarily see our vision just yet.
Yeah.
You know, we think about it and it's like, okay, well, this was initially my thought. This is how I envision it. Cool, it works. I can teach it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we can move on like that, you know, from here on out. But doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to see the vision the same way I do. But, you know, I don't know. We'll get there at some point. I'm sure we'll be able to hire somebody to not only do the videos for us, but actually be behind the cameras and operate it. Like,
that'd be dope.
Man, when I see behind the footage of some of these other podcasts that are like really popping,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them who even do like 2 episodes a week, they have people behind the cameras. Like they have a crew of people. They have at least 3, maybe even 4 cameras set up, connected to one board that is viewed on a monitor, and people they can switch camera angles on the fly.
Yeah.
So that definitely saves time when it comes to editing.
Yeah.
You know, how we do it manually when we're editing, they can do it on the fly from behind the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Lord have mercy.
They control the soundboard behind the cameras. And it's like they're using the same equipment as us. They're using a Rodecaster. You know what I'm saying? but somebody else is controlling it.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's coming. It's definitely coming. Like, we learning this stuff as we go.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't even thinking about that at one point. So it's just like now that stuff is on our mind because of the growth and because of how we've gotten to a point where, okay, we know this is what we want this to look like. Okay, now we can focus on that. Hey, that can look a little better now. So I think this is all a part of the learning curve that we on right now, brother. We just got to keep going, man. We can't give up even when it's hard and takes a lot of time and frustrating. But man, though, I love it, though. I love it, man. But I think we also forgot, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. We just kind of jumped right into it. If you haven't already, please take the time out just to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate it. We love to grow. As I always say, hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't. I don't really care. You know,
I care, though.
I know.
So hit the like button and only the like button. And also leave a comment down below in this video. We thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching us on YouTube. And, you know, it's been pretty cool because we've actually been getting some comments on our videos now. So, yeah, thank you guys for being, you know, interactive with our content. We greatly appreciate it. Also, shout out to each and every single one of you guys who are tapped in on the audio platforms. We're growing, steady growing, and we greatly appreciate that. Like, for real, worldwide with it, multiple countries, and we couldn't have done it without y'all, for real.
Nope. And last but not least, just make sure you leave a review on, you know, the many podcast platforms that we are on.
Yes.
We definitely are in need of some more reviews and some honest feedback because we want to see if we're doing something good. We want to know if we're doing something wrong.
Yes. So leave us 5 stars and make sure you leave a comment as to why you've left 5 stars. Even if you feel like we're not deserving of 5 stars, still leave the 5 stars. But definitely let us know how well we're doing.
You can leave 1. It's okay. He won't say it, but you can leave 1.
You're right. I won't say it because there's no need to leave 1. Don't do it.
You're right. It won't be 1. But nah. Also, too, man, major shout out, man. I want to just thank y'all because we have been growing in our views, like B said, especially on our shorts. Dude, we've achieved a milestone that I didn't even know we was.
Now hold on. For the shorts, for people who don't know what shorts you're talking about, because they might think what you're talking about,
like actual shorts.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let me specify that. I'm talking about YouTube shorts.
There we go.
So, yes, we thank y'all for tapping into our YouTube shorts. Our numbers have been going crazy. Like, we've been getting more views than we have subscribers. So
that's a fact.
That'd be the dope part. I'm like,
yo, when you told me how many total views we had on our YouTube shorts, I didn't believe it.
Man, listen.
Because it's like we don't even have that many views on the podcast episode.
No.
But I get it. Some people don't have the like attention span to just sit there and watch an hour-long plus video.
Yeah.
But they'll watch a minute-long video and run up the views, run up the likes, run up the comments, and we're actually getting pushed through the algorithm because of that.
Yeah, man, we are.
So
because it hasn't been that long since we really started like posting our shorts like
right.
This, so
because I mean when we first started the YouTube channel, you would post it every once in a while. But then all of a sudden out of nowhere, one of our videos hit like 1K.
Yeah, man.
And then it started happening consistently.
Yeah, man.
1K, 1.2K, 1.4K, 1K, like consistently over and over and over again to the point to where last you told me we were at 10,000 views on YouTube Shorts alone.
It probably has grown since then.
Yeah, so shout out to each and every single one of y'all. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Like, I really appreciate that because editing these clips, boy.
Yeah. It's like your work. I mean, granted, your work is already paid off just by you being able to create it. That in itself is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
But to see like, yo, dang, like, yo, we got views from that. Like, bro, hats off, bro. Pat yourself on the back, brother. Like, that's really dope, man. Seriously.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It's, skills that will eventually pay the bills.
Facts, though. It will.
Yeah.
It's just right now, somebody else is just holding a check for us till we go get it from them. So it's kind
whoever it is, y'all need to reveal yourself ASAP because
whoever you is, we ready to talk business.
Cut the check.
Cut it up. But man, I think that's a great segue. I mean, talking about the check, I think this I wanted to just talk about today something that everybody in the world understands this concept: money. Well, let me rephrase it. I don't think everybody don't understand it, but everybody knows about that dollar bill.
Yeah, most definitely. No matter what country you're in, no matter what form of currency you use, whether it's the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar, the euro, the peso, any other form of payment. Like
got the yen.
The yen. I can't think of any others right now. I'm not well versed in.
I just was in Bahamas.
Other currencies,
but I can't remember what they call their money. But yeah, you're right. Everybody recognizes it.
Yeah.
Even babies. Some of them, they know. Give me. They know.
Bruh.
But yeah, man. But I just wanted to talk about money because first and foremost, okay, it's one of those things where we all know about it. We all know it's important. But why is it so important? Why is money so important, B? Or why is it important to you?
Well, I would say it's important to me because it definitely will allow me to live the lifestyle that I want. Ever since, and I know I've told this story before, but ever since I started my first job at 16, I remember where I was living in Lawrenceville with my cousin, my older cousin. She told me like pretty much this was going to be the first day of the rest of your life. As I put on my uniform for my very first job working fast food at 16 years old. It was the first day of the rest of my life. Right. And back then I understood what she meant, but I didn't want it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the job so I can have the money to be able to buy whatever it is that I wanted. Because trust me, that was summer of 2005. You know, I'd worked that full summer since I moved here. I think I moved here June of that year. And I worked June, July, and then even I worked up to October of that year, you know, when I started my senior year and, you know, a few months prior. But I had money to do my own back to school shopping. You know what I'm saying? Me and Nard, we went back to school shopping together. And I had my own dough. I bought whatever it is that I wanted.
Yeah. I
know one episode we talked about the Jeezy Snowman t-shirts. I wanted some because that was when Jeezy's first album came out, but I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought the album, yeah, but I didn't buy the t-shirts. It's a good thing I didn't because they got banned.
Yeah.
But I bought so much stuff. I remember I bought a brand new clean white pair of Air Forces. I bought so many tall tees.
Back in the day, man.
I bought Jabot jeans, like
classics.
I was fresh. I bought new fitted caps, like all with my own money. Yeah. And at that point, like I was so happy that I didn't have to rely on my mom to, you know, buy my stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was, I mean, just the feeling of, you know, being a 16-year-old boy to be able to get fresh on your own. Like you would have thought I was a dope boy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I felt back then. But as I got older, it's like, okay, yeah, I can still buy what it is that I want, but now I got bills.
Got bills.
At 16, when I got my first job, I didn't have bills.
No bills.
So it's like, okay, I could worry about getting fresh and do whatever it is that I needed to do, go to the movies with my friends. Anytime we wanted to do something for fun on the weekends, where would we go? The mall. We went to the mall. Go pick up, you know, go talk to some girls. Even though I didn't have a car yet, I didn't get my license until I was 18. I was still fresh. I had my own money, whatever. Yeah. Finally get my car at 18. I'm in college now. I can, you know, pay for my own stuff, but now I got to pay for my car insurance. I got to pay. My car was paid off at the time, so I didn't have to pay a car note. Had to pay for car insurance, had to pay for gas. I was still saving some money because I didn't have to pay for much. But then as I got older, okay, phone bill, car insurance, had to get a new car note, so that was paid off. Stuff just started adding up.
Yeah.
So at this age that I'm at now, I got bills on top of bills on top of bills. So needless to say, I don't worry so much about getting fresh anymore as I used to back then. But again, the thing that my cousin told me when I was 16 still stays in my head rent free. And I decided maybe like a decade ago or so, like that, I didn't want that to be the rest of my life. I didn't want to just work for somebody else for the rest of my life. I wanted to do what the rich people do, which is go to sleep and make my money work for me while I'm sleeping, or make my money work for me while I'm away on vacation.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to worry about going on a vacation, spending a whole bunch of money, coming back broke. Now I gotta work a whole bunch of hours to make up for it.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's real talk.
I know that was a lot that I said, but still, it was just like, that's why money is important to me, because I mean, you need it.
Yes.
If I didn't have any form of money or any kind of money, right now, even though I'm not wealthy by any means, but I'd be living on the street.
That's real talk. That's real talk. I agree with you. I think that's one of the main reasons as to why it's important to a lot of people. I mean, it's a means to kind of get you to where you need to get to. And also just for me, I guess it's like I've been trying to wrap my head around it so much, because I think sometimes it's just too important though. I think that, I don't know if it's the culture or the lack of, but it's just like I feel like sometimes we put too much importance on money. Like, I get it, we need it, but at the same time too, I think sometimes it consumes so much of our mind that what if we put our mind on other things, or we can't because we feel like, I'm lacking money. That's oftentimes a lot of thoughts that go through my head when I think about money, because I do think it's important. But what if it wasn't so important?
If it wasn't so important, I think more of us would be living freely, and I don't mean freely as in like monetary amount. Like, we would live without so much stress on our minds of where we're going to get the money to do whatever it is that we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, rent's always due on the first.
Yeah.
If I go on vacation and I don't really have enough money to cover, or maybe I overspend on my vacation and accidentally tap into my rent money, and I put accidentally in air quotes, like, it's like, oh, I'll make that back. Sure, no problem. But I can't make it back in time for rent being due. Yeah. I'm going to be behind. And depending on how nice my landlord is, I'm either going to get evicted or I'm going to get a little bit of an extension.
Yeah.
And funny enough, and this is not funny. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it like that. But I heard this story on another podcast of how this one landlord, he's been doing this for years, but he had been soliciting sex from his tenants and his buildings if they couldn't make their rent payment. And this was women and some men. And this dude finally got arrested. I think he was in his 60s or 70s.
Wow.
He finally got caught, but he had been doing it for decades.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have no comment on that one right there.
But it's just like, it just reminded me, it's like, I guess he had enough money to cover, of course, cover his tenants' rent, but he took he took advantage of some of his tenants just because they might not have had enough money right then and there. And instead of evicting them, he was like, listen, if you ain't got the cash, you got to pay what you.
Yeah.
Fill in the blanks, ladies and gentlemen. Fill in the blanks.
But see, that's another thing that I'm thinking about, bruh. It's just like money can sometimes bring such a stress that we might do something desperate just so that we can keep going. And I'm like, yo, what if we lived in a world where money just wasn't that? Like, because money is such a, dude, it is something that is so important. Sometimes I feel like it's too important, or I feel like we make it too important. So it's just like when people willing to, give up their body just so they can pay rent, so they can keep going, it's like that stress on life is like, it's just like, man, I don't know. That's what my mind be going like. So what if we didn't have that? Or remember a point in time when that wasn't the case? Because, at one point we were on like a barter system. And
well, I mean, I don't actually remember that because we weren't there.
We weren't here, but to an extent we still kind of do it somewhat. Yeah. But it's just basically like you have something, I don't know, you edit well, right? And I don't know, I have.
You speak well.
Something like that, right? I'll be like, hey, if you edit this for me, I'll speak at your event. Something like that. We made that even exchange, and then that way we both got what we wanted. But
Fair enough.
Nowadays you don't have that. It's like, hey, bro, how much you got? What you gonna give me? Like,
I mean, sometimes people do still do that. Like,
yeah, they do.
No lie. Like, it's just it's kind of like a tit for tat kind of thing. Like Like you said, hey, edit this video for me, and I'll speak at your next event. You might be able to pack whatever event that I'm having. You might be able to pack that out because you know how well you speak. Or people might be, you know, so touched by the words that you say that you'll pack my next event out. I was like, oh, okay, well, wow, that went well. It went better than I thought. How about you speak in my next event and I'll edit your next video? Because you like the way that I edit my videos and I like the way that you speak to a crowd. And that crowd coming in will probably make me money. They'll probably pay to come see you speak. Yeah. So I'll get a check for that and I'll cut you a check for that. I know we weren't really talking about money, but we were talking about just exchanges in that aspect. But, you know, it's just, some people do have that mindset still. Like, let's exchange some favors. Maybe it could benefit us in the long run. Yeah. Or just something simple like how they, you know, I don't know, for food. Like, I want bread, but all I got is grapes. Hey, you want some grapes? And can I have some of your bread? Oh, cool. Boom. Just a simple exchange. Yeah. We ain't stressing about it. I ain't worried. No, it's just a simple exchange. Like, what if we had that still? Like, or if I come to your restaurant and I ain't got the cash, I got to go wash dishes. Hey. You get some labor out of me, I got some food out of you. Come on in the back, bud. Bust them suds. You know what I'm saying? You can eat. Yeah, I have no problem. But I'm just like, yo. Bust them suds. Yeah, you really are Southern. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? See how it just comes out randomly, right? You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm just, you know, it's just interesting to me, man, when it comes to this money thing, because we would do some pretty horrendous things just to get it. People will scam people. You know, Atlanta is known. Atlanta is land of the scammers, yo. Listen, like, bro, just be careful, y'all. Listen, just please be careful. I've known so many people, including myself, that have just gotten scammed out of money, and people are so creative in the ways that they do it. Yeah, that's a fact. Listen, just be careful. Y'all would put that much energy into something else as you doing scamming. Come on now. Think about where you could be. Come on, dude. Like, and it doesn't work out good for you in the end. Like, it's quick money and it's gonna go quick, and you lose respect from people. You should lose respect from yourself, but I don't know, bro. And if the law catches up to you, yeah, it's just like why, man? So even like if you look at some celebrities who have been involved in stuff like that, like the main one I could think of is JT from the City Girls. Like, I remember when City Girls was first popping, Young Miami was pretty much doing everything by herself because JT was locked up. She was in the feds for fraud. Oh. So, yeah. See. You know, and I mean, they're not from Atlanta. They're Florida girls, but still, like, it's scamming. Like, oh, yeah. So many people out here will do some things for cash. You know what I'm saying? They will. And it doesn't always pay off for you, or it'll catch up to you in the long run. And it's just like, it's so many different things that people would just do for money. I mean, I think of remember how we talked about OnlyFans and stuff like that. Yeah. People doing that, and they don't, you know, it's for the money right now, but then later on in life, hey. Oh, yeah, man, because, first things first, like, a lot of, not going to lie, I didn't see any men losing their minds when it happened, but a lot of women losing their minds when we covered how OnlyFans was going to stop doing explicit videos years ago. But I guess so many people complained and OnlyFans was going to lose so much money because that's a bulk of their money. Yeah. That's a huge chunk of their money. It's like, all right, we'll still allow it, you know, because we're going to get our money regardless. So keep doing what you're doing. Listen. But so many women lost their minds. Like, yo, what am I going to do now? I've been selling feet pictures, or I've been selling videos of me getting smashed and me playing with myself and stuff like that. And now all of a sudden OnlyFans is shutting down. Like, what am I going to do? Yeah. And then we've seen videos of girls talking about how they were making so much money to the point to where they thought it was just going to keep coming. They weren't thinking long term about, you know, maybe let me make this amount of money and I'll split it to where I can spend this much, but I'll put this much away to save, and then I'll put this much away over here to invest into something. Hopefully I can get a return on that investment and have the money grow. No, they were just spending because they're thinking the money's going to come in. Yeah. But when OnlyFans was threatening to shut that down, oh man, they were lost. Yeah. Because to me, it's just like, I look at money, it's like money can inspire you to be creative in, you know, a way that really challenges your mind to come up with something that is a solution for people. Or it can be
a quick, hey, I know I can make this amount of money. You know, I'm not throwing shade at anybody that decides to show their body or dance or anything
Right,
like
and
that.
me neither.
You know what I
You know,
mean?
we
It's
mentioned OnlyFans is just like a talking point. Like, y'all are grown adults, both the men and the women who do OnlyFans. Y'all are grown adults. Like, if that's what you want to do, get it how you live. As long as you're not hurting somebody else, that's how I feel.
Yeah, man.
And it even came out to the point to where there was a report that came out years ago. In 2021, OnlyFans creators earned a total of $3.86 billion. Now, this was according to a Spiritual Word, but you know, this was, I think this came out in 2021 or 2022, but I just so happened to have it because we were going to talk about it in an episode. We just never did. But OnlyFans creators earned $3.86 billion in 2021, more than double the amount of the previous year.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
so yeah, people out there will sell their bodies for money. They'll scam for money. Not saying that this is a scam, obviously. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, people will do almost anything for money.
yeah.
They'll steal for it. They'll kill for it.
And it's true. This is true, man. And we just gotta. I just want us to like. I think my hope is that we just realize money is important, but it's not the most important thing. I think that's just what I'm getting at. It's not the most important thing. So, what is the most important thing?
Money.
This guy. Bruh. If I had the button. Like, what if money wasn't, let's take money out of the equation. What would be the most important thing?
I would say your happiness, man. I think just overall, people just want to be happy. People want a sense of fulfillment. People want joy.
Yeah.
It feels good, and 9 times out of 10, it's not hurting anybody else.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is, of course. But fulfillment and joy, like, it'll bring about a certain feeling, for lack of better words, to you. And there's a saying out there that goes, you know, money can't buy happiness, money can't buy love. I get it. Money can't buy love, but I personally think, this is just me, I personally think money can buy happiness. But then again, you listen to a lot of people who do have money and they'll say it won't. Mm-hmm. And maybe, I think it was David Shands who I heard say that somebody actually told him, yeah, only the people who have money say it, and there's a reason for it. Because, I mean, that's how I think. When I hear people with money say money isn't everything and money won't buy happiness, I'm like, well, you have money. Of course you're going to say that. You already have it. Mm-hmm. I don't have, you know, that much money. I wish I could just, you know, have enough money to, like I said in the beginning, make my money work for me while I'm sleeping, while I'm going on vacation, while I'm doing something that I love, like going to speak in an event, or, you know, helping other people launch their podcasts, or helping other people edit their videos and stuff like that. That brings me joy. Mm-hmm. But joy isn't going to pay my bills. So imagine if I had so much money that my bills were on auto pay and I didn't worry about where that money was going to come from to pay those bills on auto pay. Yeah. All of that's out the way. Now I get to really do everything that gives me joy. Yeah. So I think in that instance, yeah, money bought me that happiness. It bought me the time freedom to be able to do stuff that I really love to do and give me some fulfillment in my life, give me some joy in my life.
I can see that. I see what you mean by that.
So to answer your question, I would say the next thing in line, if money wasn't so important, it would definitely have to be that feeling of joy, that sense of joy, that sense of fulfillment, that sense of being complete because you were able to do something that you love to do.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I think that's actually really good. I think for me, I think just, you know, being able to experience life. I'll have to put that up there because I heard this guy say one time, he was like, if I gave you $10 million today, would that make you happy? And most people say, yeah. But he's like, but the caveat is you can't wake up tomorrow. Would you still want that 10 million? And everybody said, no. So it's like, he was like, well, so that means that breath in your body must be more important then. He was like, well, hold on. Now you think about it. Yes, it is. So for me, it's like honestly, just experiencing life, just having breath in your body that to me is the most important thing, because without that, you can't even experience none of this other stuff. You can't even enjoy the money that you have.
And like I said, I want to make money in my sleep, but I don't want to I don't want to necessarily make money in my eternal sleep. You know what I'm saying? And if I do, I want to have a legacy behind so that they can benefit from the money. But it's like, I don't have a wife, I don't have kids yet, so there's no point in me getting 10 million today and not being able to wake up tomorrow. Because, I mean, granted, the money's gonna go to my mother because she's pretty much my only beneficiary, but I won't have any kids to pass that down to.
Right.
Because it's like, once she goes, if I went before her, God forbid, and she got my money, then who's she gonna give it to?
Yeah, it's true. This is true.
It just stops.
I want us just to I don't want us to not think that money is not important. It's very important. But I just want us to also focus on, I think, the gifts and the opportunity to be creative, and knowing that even if you don't have no money today, it's gonna be okay. Because I know a lot of people, they stress about this. They get sick over this. They fight, like you said, they kill people. Like it's so much negative things that happen from the lack of money. I think so. I just want us to focus on the important things, man. I want us to know money is important, but also, hey, you have a lot more going for you. There's a lot more things that are
worth more.
Yeah, like the things you really can't touch or put a value on are really truly the things that it means the most. Like your family, you can't put a price on your family. They might get on your nerves sometimes, but bro, if they gone, that hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like can't nobody give you no dollar amount to be like, hey, let me get rid of it. Well, hold on. Well,
hold up.
There are some people out there that we ain't gonna go there, but I'm just saying.
A couple grand, grand price tag on your head, leave you laying where you stand.
Oh man, listen, y'all. Okay, but that went left. But listen, no amount of money is important. No amount of money is worth someone's life, okay? Period.
Depends on who you're asking. But I get what you're saying.
Yes.
But it depends on who you're asking, and it depends on the dollar amount.
All right, we're not, yes, okay?
Neither one of us are endorsing it. This does not reflect the thoughts and opinions and everything that Residual Impact Podcast stands for.
Thank you.
All right? We're just putting that out there because we know that's reality.
Yeah.
Right?
Sad.
We are not endorsing putting price tags on anybody's heads.
Please don't.
But we understand that it happens.
Yeah, man. It's like, I heard something too. I forgot who the guy was, but he was talking about basically an economy. Because you know how we say, what if just everybody had money? Like, and he was like, that's not how an economy works. He was like, you actually need people that don't have it in order for something to flow. And I was like, whoa. Because I forgot, the number that they use, but they said you only need this amount of number to actually end poverty. And they technically have it, but they don't do it because it will disrupt something. So I don't know.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, if everybody had money, you wouldn't have anybody working. Right? Somebody pointed this out to me years ago. It's like, everybody's not meant to be a boss.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Everybody is not meant to be a boss. You're definitely going to have more bosses or fewer bosses out there than you are going to have employees.
Right.
You have to have enough people out there to make the money, to put the money into the economy, but then you're also going to have enough people, more than enough people, to work for that money and be able to, get the dough and then, spend it on the bills or spend it on stuff that they want to spend to kind of help keep it circulating and flowing. Like, if we all had money, if everybody who was a mechanic and they all had their own money, sure, maybe some people, some mechanics may love doing what it is that they do and working on cars and stuff. But imagine if they didn't have to do that for money.
They'd be like, bro, I don't want to do that car right now, bro. I get to it when I want to, bro.
Right. So think about it. Because of that, like, what if an ambulance broke down and a mechanic needed to fix it? without, a fleet of ambulances, out of service, or without a bunch of ambulances in service because they're out of service because they needed to be serviced and fixed by a mechanic, how many people would be able to get rushed to the hospital if they needed it?
That's a good point. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have money to stimulate the economy because without it, man, everybody gonna get lazy.
That is true. It is. I guess you could say it is a motivator. It can be a good positive motivator when used.
It could be, yeah.
Correctly.
When used correctly, it could be a positive motivator.
Yeah. Okay. In that aspect of it, I get that. I get that. And also, like, I heard this thing too. You know how they say the term "more money, more problems."
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard it from Pitbull. He was like, money doesn't have to be a problem. He was like, you just got to give it away. It's like when you choose to give money away, and then I think that creates solutions. Because think about how good you feel when you give somebody some money that may not been in a situation to where they could have afforded something and things like that. It does feel great to do that. Because I think on both parties, it's something that it's an equal exchange. But I can see how having a lot of money can cause problems too, though. Do I want them problems, though?
Shoot.
I mean,
I'll take them problems.
I mean,
I'll take them problems. Give me all the bread. You know what I'm saying?
But I do think it's important, though, too. I think this is another thing I wanted to get at is the fact of before you get into some real money, some real money, understand that you are already valuable with where you are. Like, who you are right now, you are valuable. And I think sometimes that's where we make a mistake. We put the dollar amount as, oh, this is how valuable this person is. But no, you're valuable way before you ever make any money.
Yeah.
And I think that's the overall theme of what I'm trying to get across, is you are important with nothing. Just for you being, you are important.
And don't ever let anybody tell you different.
Yeah, bro.
Because some people will tell you that your value is
tied to what you have. That's another, that's going to a whole nother topic of just how, like, when it comes to dating and stuff, and just how a lot of times it's pushed on the woman, hey, if he ain't got no money, he ain't of value. Now, granted, I'm not excusing lazy behavior, but a lot of times men aren't where they need to be financially, and they're normally working their way to that point. But it's been pushed on society that, get that bag. He should have that bag. He should have 6 figures. He should be all this and that. A lot of times too, brother, you gotta help. Some people have to get to that point. They gotta be built up to that point. It's not just automatically they're gonna have it like
right.
that. So, man, it's interesting, bro.
I mean, that's what we are taught. Like, again, I know you and I touched on this in a previous episode, but men have to build up our value. And for the most part, we either have to be useful to society in some way, shape, or form, or we have to have money to be able to provide somebody with a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Whether that be a spouse, a girlfriend, kids, whomever, even other relatives of ours. We have to have some sort of value that we have built up. We're not born with our value in the same way that women are born with theirs.
Yeah.
Like I've said before in a previous episode, I don't care how much money I have. If I'm a wealthy man and I find a woman working at Chick-fil-A who I think is attractive and she's, I like her mindset, I'm going to want to talk to her. I don't care if she makes minimum wage. I don't care if she makes like, what, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year as a manager. Like, I don't know how much managers at Chick-fil-A make. I'm not pocket watching. But if I have like 7 figures and she's only making 5, what do I care?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Her value's not tied into money.
Right. We just gotta start to shift that. I think we just gotta, like you said, man, we just gotta first and foremost know our value before we ever really get any money, any real dollar amount, and understand that the qualities of you that you can't put a price on, those are the real things of value.
Right.
Those are the things that no matter how much money you have, they're not going nowhere. Like that's you. That's who you are. And
we just need to be able to separate certain things that we see, certain things that we hear, especially from these celebrities that we follow or, idolize or want to be like. We need to cut that out. For example, so many of us want to be dripped out in designer. For what?
Because it puts the value. we put the value in the clothes.
Even though so many of us have heard countless times, let me not say that because a lot of us might not have heard it, but if you haven't heard it, you're going to hear it today. Man made the clothes. Clothes never made the man. And that goes for women too, right? You can substitute woman for man in that sentence. Mm-hmm. Man made the clothes. Clothes never made the man. I'm not going to spend $300 on a Gucci t-shirt just to have a shirt that says Gucci on it. For what?
Bruh. I was in this phase where I just wanted some designer stuff, right? I can't lie, right? And I was looking for this Prada shirt. And when I tell you I went to the Prada website, bro, and I saw a t-shirt, just a plain white t-shirt,
mm-hmm.
did not have nothing of the word Prada on it. It just was on the Prada website. This t-shirt was like $850. God damn. I went to Amazon. I typed in exactly what the t-shirt said, and you can get a pack of 3. You get a pack of 3 for $15.
Bruh.
But they were selling this one shirt for $850 just because of the name that was behind it. And it's like, it hit me, bro. I'm like, bro, it's these people putting value on it, and they make you think, hey, this is what the value of this is worth just because of the name. And it's just like, bro, you by yourself, like, bro, you should be able to go step out in that $15 t-shirt that's on Amazon and realize you have the same value as if you had on that $850
mm-hmm.
Prada t-shirt. And it just, man, we gotta shift that mindset, bro.
So many of us think about the designer clothes as like, yo, we putting that on. You know what I'm saying? We putting that stuff on, and
Mm-hmm.
people are gonna look at us differently because it's like, oh, you got a $850 t-shirt.
Yeah.
You got a pair of $400, maybe $600 sunglasses. You got a pair of, sneakers that cost $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got all this money on you. Your whole outfit costs more than your cell phone or a laptop. It costs more than a laptop. Cost some people's outfits be costing more than a car.
Yeah.
And they don't have a car.
Yeah.
Like, our priorities are so messed up when it comes to certain things because of what it is that we see other people doing. Like, I'll never forget, there was this one song that 2 Chainz was featured in. That man said he ate a $300 hamburger.
I believe it.
I ain't got 2 Chainz money to be spending $300 on a burger. Bro, I can go to a restaurant and pay $12 for a burger. Some people can go spend $1 on a burger. I wouldn't advise that because them burgers be nasty.
Yeah.
I'm not shouting the restaurant's name out. We've talked about it in the previous episode, but you get what you pay for.
You do. And it's just, the problem with it is this. And I will put myself in this situation too. Like, I'm not saying that this is just on people. When you buy these high-end clothes and these high-end things and this stuff, right? Yes, you feel great when it's on. But when you take it off, do you feel like you have less of value because you took that off? Because like you say,
that's good.
We do it and we put it on and we go around. We want people, we trying to flex on people like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got it. You might try to play it off. Oh, this ain't nothing. I've been had this. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah, but I got a $400 watch on. You know what I'm saying? But
when you take that watch off, do you still feel the same? Can you go out and still command that presence or to have that confidence that you had when you had it on?
I can. I can personally answer for myself. I can. I can't speak for everybody else.
See, that's real though. I mean, you got something that's inside of you that the value can't put on. Like you know who you are.
Yeah.
I want us to get to that point where you know who you are, no matter what you put on, bro. Because I've had moments like that, bro, where I've been wearing like some earrings, right? And I know I spent some bread on these earrings. They were diamonds. But then when I wasn't wearing the earrings, I'm like, I felt like just a slight bit less of who I was because I took them off.
Like, what was his name in ATL? The little brother.
Oh, I can't remember.
Anton, I think it was. I don't know.
Like that. Yeah.
But yeah, the little brother, played by Tracy Ellis Ross' younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, what was his name? I've met him before. I think it's Evan Ross.
That sounds familiar.
But yeah, Diana Ross's son, Tracy Ellis Ross' younger brother. He wanted to be a D-boy, and he wanted this girl's attention, and she wouldn't give him the time of day. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, he became a D-boy, and he started buying, fancier clothes. He was wearing white tees, like he was wearing trapper attire, but he he started shining. He was buying them rocks in his
Had the
ears.
big
And
old
he had a
earrings.
huge earring.
Yep.
And Shorty was giving him play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's one of the ways that we kind of, get that. Because, listen, there was a time in high school after I had first got my ear pierced, I used to buy some big old earrings.
Of course. That was the style.
And my mother was like, "Yo, that looks so fake. You don't let me catch you with that stuff on. Take it off. Don't let me catch you outside." I went to school behind her back, and I was still like, I would put a smaller earring in as I was leaving the house,
Mm-hmm.
put the bigger earring in when I was in school,
Yeah, bro.
and I got caught when I came home, and I never took it out. Like, I just forgot. She was like, "Didn't I tell you to stop wearing that?" I was like, "Damn."
You had to throw it away.
Bruh.
I think I still have it, to be honest.
This
I just
guy.
never wore it again, but I think it's still in my earring box with all my other earrings.
Probably greened out right now.
Probably. Probably. Because now the only earrings I buy, I buy, they got to be white gold or stainless steel.
Yeah.
Like, I don't buy, I can't do, them cheap earrings.
Yeah, middle of the mall jewelry.
Yeah, I'll do that. It just has to be made of those materials. I don't want my ears turning green.
Yeah. I feel you, bro. It's just, man, I think that's the moral. I just don't want y'all to put the value in the things, man, and the value in the money over yourself. That's just what I want from y'all. Y'all are more valuable than this. And I think once we realize that and understand, we won't put so much importance on it. We won't allow money to stress us out because money's going to come. I think people forget that. We forget that. When you don't have no money, you think that it's not going to be. Bro, I promise you, money's going to come. If you hold a mindset in yourself like, yo, I'm going to make some money today. You continue to tell yourself that and ways will come to you. Like, it's going to come. But if you walking around with a lack mindset, of course you're going to be a little stressed out. Of course you ain't going to have enough.
Right.
But you got to believe it first, man. You got to believe in yourself. There's inner qualities about you that you don't need no dollar amount to use right now today. And I think that's what I want y'all to get at.
I think some people don't. They may know that, but they don't know what qualities inside them are valuable enough to make them realize their worth.
Well, let me think what I can tell them right now. Then I would say first and foremost, you are loved. First, I think we all want to be loved, but you are loved. If nobody never tell you they love you, I love you, all right? But for real, that's a real thing. You are loved, and you are so important that something wanted you to be here. And if you're able to listen to this and hear this, you should understand that's real. Because there's some people that are not alive right now that could have benefited from this. So understand that first, too.
Boy, I thought about something recently to where, it was to that extent.
What's up?
How some people don't even make it to a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in the mall one day walking randomly around Lenox, and I thought about, how I think it's probably because I saw a girl. I might have seen a girl, and I was like, yo, she's too young. I'm not even going to think about talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just kind of thinking about marriage and stuff like that. Like how I haven't seen, marriage yet. I don't have any kids yet. None of that. Because I'm so focused. And I'm like, well, some people don't even get to the point to where they could fathom that type of stuff. I remember I went to middle school with this one girl who tragically passed away at age 16.
Dang.
After we all graduated from middle school and we went to high school, we were in the 10th grade, and she passed away because she was hit by a car in our neighborhood. It was not too far from where we all went to middle school. And she never got to see prom. She never got to meet her future husband. She never got to get married or have kids or anything like that because she was gone at 16. I know people who were gone in their 20s. This one girl who I went to high school with when I moved here, we had a thing going on while we were in high school, but then afterwards we just lost touch. Next thing I know, years later, she had 2 kids and her life was taken because she was involved in a car accident. She wasn't hit by a car, but she was in a car. when it crashed. I don't know if somebody crashed into her or she crashed into something. Like I don't remember the story, but it was actually on the news. And I think I found out because it was circulating around Facebook among, people we went to high school with. And it was just like, wow, I had no idea. Left behind 2 kids and she's gone. It was somebody I knew, like in her 20s.
Jeez.
So many people don't get the opportunity to even make it to 30. Some people don't get the opportunity to make it to 50. Like being elderly is a blessing, and I can't wait to, I can wait. Let me not say I can't wait, but I would love to be able to get to where, I'm my mother's age or my uncle's age, or, I don't know, like one of my uncles, my grandfather's oldest brother, who's still alive, like all of their siblings are gone, even my grandfather, right? My uncle is in his 90s.
Dang, that's a blessing.
Yeah. My grandmother's oldest sister, she's 99.
Wow.
She just turned 99 a few months ago, right? She'll be 100 next year. So it's like, I want to see that. I want my mother and my uncle both to see that, to get there themselves. And I want to get there myself. Like, that's a blessing. But unfortunately, so many people don't get to see that. They don't get to reach that. So we have to understand that we do have value within ourselves that's not monetary. And we have to find what it is that brings us joy, what brings us fulfillment. Because I truly believe that that's the next thing in line that will kind of make you realize that you're worth something other than something monetary. Because if money wasn't an option, if money wasn't an issue, what else would life be about? We wouldn't be out here chasing checks.
Nope.
We wouldn't be out here trying to, get designer. And for the record, I don't really care for designer stuff. Like the most expensive things that I'll probably wear are sneakers. And Mike, you know that. But other than that, maybe if, designer stuff that I'm interested in are sunglasses. I love designer shades. Even though my face is pretty wide, I can't fit a lot of sunglasses. But if I do find some bomb designer shades that I can wear, I might buy them.
Yeah.
I've done it before. But that's besides the point. You know what I'm saying? That's just a little side note. But you got to find your value. I think I found mine already. So, whether I have on something designer, whether I have on some expensive sneakers, whether I have some sneakers that I bought from Payless or Walmart or whatever the case may be, I know I'm still that guy.
Yeah. So, and that's what it's about, bro. It's like, I want people to walk around with that confidence, no matter what, bro. I mean, don't be delusional, of course, like that, but like,
What are you talking about? I am him.
Like, I ain't talking about you, man.
I'm about to say,
I'm
like,
just saying, I'm saying, don't be delusional, like.
I am him. Timothy. I am Himi Neutron. I am that guy.
No, listen. Nah, facts. I want y'all to have that type of confidence because nobody can bring you down, and that's rightfully so. Because I know a lot of people, we let social media or people bring us down. So, you should have that type of confidence in yourself. But, like, be real, though, too. Like, let's not, let's, come on now. Come on. That's like I'm saying I'm him in a rap game. You know what I mean? Like, although I got bars.
Stop the cap.
But you know what I'm saying? I can't just go around saying, like, yo, I want it with anybody. Like, whoever want beef. Like, no.
Because we know that you're going to get cooked.
I probably would. But, you see what I'm saying? But I got to have confidence in myself.
Flamed.
I got to have confidence in myself. So, but yeah. Other than that, I think that's what I wanted to get my point across. I think I did that.
And I think, I definitely think that you got your point across. And I'm glad you were able to do that because, listen, everybody, at least in this country, I can't speak for any other countries because I haven't been to any other countries, but so many people in this country are stressed because of finances. You even look at some wealthy people who end up taking their lives. Like we've talked about, certain people who, from the outside looking in, they were sitting on top of the world. And then they decided to take their own life because something was going on internally that nobody really knew about. We've spoken about that in a few previous episodes, but you just never know, man. We don't want any of you guys to be like that, to where you might think about ending things because you don't have money And we don't want you thinking like you have to end things because you do have all the money in the world and nothing else going on for you other than that.
Right.
Because you do have value. You really do.
Very much so.
So last thing wanted to bring up involving that was you're definitely not alone. You know, I said all of that to say that you're not alone. And according to some stats we found on Google, like if you're feeling anxious about your finances, you know, there was a recent survey that was done where it was found that 90% of Americans say that money is having an impact on their stress levels, and 34% are losing sleep over it. So, if I lose sleep over anything, it's not because of money, but I can definitely empathize with people who are losing sleep over that. Just try your hardest not to be one of them, like for real. If you're not there already, and even if you are there, talk to somebody.
Please.
There's somebody out there that's, I'm sure, can help you. Maybe somebody or a group of people who might be going through something similar to what it is that you're going through. Just talk to them, man.
Please.
Just open your mouth. Like, closed mouths don't get fed, and we'd much rather, you speak to somebody, even if it's us, like you want to reach out to us, Residual Impact Podcast at gmail.com, Residual Impact Podcast on Instagram, Residual Impact on TikTok. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Reach out to us if you want to reach out to us and talk. If you feel like you have nobody else to talk to.
Please do. Because we're here for it. Like, we're here for you for that exact reason right there. Because you're right. Some people, they that's what they may just need this. They may need to know that, hey, there's an outlet for some people that care. And this is a judgment-free zone because we're not perfect. We've gone through it, as you hearing the stuff that we go through. And we laugh it off because, we still here.
Yeah, man.
So.
Can't stop.
Won't stop. Yes, sir. But other than that, I feel like, that's what I had to get off to the people today. I don't know about you. But you got something else for them?
Nah, I actually don't. Well, let me stop the cap because I do want to say the last thing when it comes to money. Number one, so many people get this verse misconstrued, right? So many people will say, or they believe that money is the root of all evil. That is false. The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. All right? And even if you don't believe in the Bible, the love of money truly is the root of all evil. Because like we've said before, people will rob for it, people will steal for it, people will kill for it, people will do some really dirty things for that money. And that's because they love money so much, or because they love what money can do for them. Money is just a tool. It's something that you can use to get you from point A to point B. It's like a car. A car isn't needed, but it's very helpful. If I lost, I don't want to really speak this out into existence, but God forbid if I lost my car tomorrow, I'm still him. You know what I'm saying? I could still find a way to work, but at the same time, I would have to get some money together so I can get a new car. It just is what it is. Like a car is a tool. Money is a tool. Don't think that money is everything because it's not.
All right.
And the last thing I want to say is, if you do have access to money, make sure you control it. Don't let it control you. Because if you let it control you, nothing good is going to come of it at all.
That's real talk.
That's all I have to say.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have adhered to some of the advice that was given today. I think that was very beneficial. Hopefully it can lead you in the right direction, or maybe put your mind on something that you have not been thinking about thus far. That's the whole point of the Residual Impact. And, yeah, man. So we just thank y'all for tuning in with us. And B, what we say.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say I just saved $100 plus on my car insurance by changing and
okay.
yeah, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm out there. I am still that guy.
Okay.
Again,
have that confidence.
I'm Himothy. Himi Neutron.
All right.
He is that man.
Ladies and gentlemen, where you are today.
He who is that guy.
Okay, is a residual
He who is still sitting on top of the world.
outcome of the thoughts
Because I'm just him.
you had in the past.
So fresh and so clean.
Till the very
You
next time.
understand?
We love y'all.
Do you have anything else that you want to say to the people? Because I said everything that I had to say.
Peace. Goodbye.
Peace.